to the second to last episode on this wonderful season, helping businesses, entrepreneurs, artists, musicians, and now athletes alike market their image through their very own story. Today's story kind of brings you back to the past with the clothing that this company sells. LOCulture, run by Pachi Ki, has been developing their brand by using vintage clothing, records, jewelry, and vinyls. Their store is home to some of the best vintage clothing I've seen and some great records as well. When I say vintage, I'm not saying the 2000s, I'm talking 90s, 80s, 70s, and later. Their clothing makes it for a great fad to make a comeback, or for someone who loves to put great outfits together by matching up different eras. If this is you, take a listen to their story behind the company and how you yourself can bring back some vintage looks.
Peace to everybody out there. My name's Dink. Right now, we in the LOCulture shop. This is one of our shops that we have online. Basically, our business structure, we have multiple online clothing stores, DVD stores, music, where we sell physical items that we store here. The main shop being a LOCulture shop on Etsy. What we do, we go out to auctions, go out to garage sales, estate sales, some physical stores, and we source for items, vintage clothing, vintage hats, vintage sneakers, some other things, but that's mainly what we do for the LOCulture shop. Is our main shop we're promoting now. I collect records, so I collect them and I sell them. I collect the ones I want, I sell the ones I don't like, or I sell the ones that have doubles of and things of that nature. Also have a natural hair care shop, which my wife runs. So it's a family business. We do alright, do pretty good. The main thing for me though is not being on anyone else's timeline. I don't enjoy anybody controlling my time. I don't, I already have to be to places at certain times and things of that nature because of people in my life, but I don't like anybody just, you have to be here on this day at this time for these many hours, and you have to do this, that, and the fourth in order for you to get this check. And the check is never really worth it. No matter what you're doing, the check is never really worth it because there's no future in that check. You're gonna pay your bills at the end of the month, but you're gonna feed your children, so the check is not worthless. I mean, I say that, but it's not building anything. You're essentially a slave. You're being paid for your time, and your time is it's priceless. There's no value on time. It's the value is what you make of it. So I worked a job for about 10 years in New York. I was getting paid pretty well. I decided to move out of state to be closer to the family, namely my daughter. Upon getting out here, I realized they don't pay as well as New York and other states. Mainly southern states, they don't pay as well as New York. So I picked up a job. I worked harder than I ever worked in my life for 1 year, and got the lowest amount I've ever made, in a year span. And it was just eye-opening. It was just like, wow, I can't keep doing this, and I'm not going to keep hunting for somebody to pay me what I feel I'm worth. I could just get out here and pay myself what I feel I'm worth. So I started, doing what I said before and getting out here, getting product, selling online, and that led me to, you know, I need a niche. I need a staple. I need, a place that I could basically do what I like to do, which is, I like going to find vintage, odd, sometimes even ugly or, weird clothing, because there's a specialty market out there for it, and I got the eye for it. So the main reason for doing it is like I said before, I don't want to work for anybody. I don't want to be on anybody's timeline, and I don't think we should. As people, we feel like, or people as a whole, we get trapped into thinking we need somebody else. Like we gotta go work for other people. We gotta go work for the Walmarts, the Home Depot people, which wherever you go work at, to me it's not worth it when you could build your own brand. And there's a ton of people out there now that that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing.
I want to thank Pachi Ki and LOCulture for sharing their story behind the store, the company, and the vintage clothing you are selling. If you would like to possibly purchase one of their items, you can find their links in the description below to their Etsy and Big Cartel websites. Next week we'll have our last video of the season, and you don't want to miss it, so make sure you subscribe by hitting that button. Continue to follow us on all our social media websites for updates and news as well. See you all next week, and have a great night.
To get overseas, that's pretty much my profession. I started at the age of 7, and my first team I actually played for was the Bearcats, the AAU team, and it was coached by my uncle.